Hi, everyone. Yep, it's me, Holly. I am going to do some live readings right now. So, namaste. We're going to bring in some energy here. I want to bring in some energy from spirit. I want to bring in some energy from the universal mind because I want to answer your questions the best way that I can. My glasses look crooked here. And how I'm going to answer those questions is two ways. I'm going to answer them from spirit. So you can just ask me a question. What does spirit say I should do with this? Whatever comes to my mind will be from spirit, and I'll share that with you. And then astrologically. So please, in the chat box, only put, for instance, May. So use the letters MAY to 1967. Okay, don't need a time, don't need a place, but don't use like 9/5/88. Everybody around the entire world uses a different order numerology, and I can't do quick readings when I have to try to figure out what the month is. Okay, so I've already got a couple of questions. Some people had jumped on my original post, and so this one is for name unknown. And she had asked if she was asked to go on a date with somebody who may be somewhat famous, or the son of someone who may be somewhat famous. And she wants to know, should I go on this date? Okay, that could be a horary question. And what that means is I'm going to look up the question as it was asked. Now, there's a lot of content here around professional and your social standing, your professional and your social standing. So you're definitely taking a look at that. And that seems to be a concern, especially around today. There is a lot of miscommunication that's going on in your life, and there's definitely some ups and downs around relationships. I would definitely say that some relationships that you're going to be entering in between April of last spring and April of this spring in 2019 are going to be very sudden, very tumultuous, very quick, maybe even short-lived. So if this is a question around if it goes sour, if it doesn't go right, it's going to affect your social standing and it's going to affect your connection around that industry, then I would definitely take it into consideration. I'm never going to say yes or no. There's definitely going to be a huge lesson from this. It's very sudden, unexpected. It wasn't something that you had planned. If you can make it very clear to him, and I would wait till after Friday when Mercury goes out of retrograde, but if you can make it really clear to him that you would like it to start off as a friendship, and if it goes any further than that and it doesn't work out, you would like to maintain that friendship. If you're very happy with his answer, okay, then I would go ahead and go on that date and see if that it could just be a fun friendship. If it's really going to affect the social standing, my answer would be no, don't do it. Okay, don't do anything like that until after April of 2019. Of course, in this area, I can also take a look at his birth chart, and that would give me an idea of what he's all about and what's going on with him as well. You have to be very clear on your communication right now, okay? Otherwise, you will get, people will say that you said things that you didn't say, for instance. So I'm trying to get on to where people were asking me some questions and see what kind of questions. So when will I sell my house? So this one is from Ku, and and when will we get a house soon? That's interesting. Two house things here from two totally different people. So we're going to look at this May 9th birthday and look at the selling of a house. So let's just take a quick look at that, and then I'll take a look at the other one who wants to buy a house. When are they going to buy a house? So I've got, bear with me as I, 89, 89, 89, 89, 89, don't want to give away. And so let's take a look at what's going on here. What I really like about what I'm seeing here is how this person is in a stage where they're able to make some dreams come true. And so whatever they want to happen, now let's see if that has to do with the moon. Yep, has to do with the moon. I love it when I see this. So the question is, since April, since the spring of 2018, you've been wanting to sell this house. And where I'm seeing there's definitely a flow, an ease of the sale of this house. And I want to see where your moon is. So I want to give you another date. You had an opportunity to do it last spring. I would love your feedback in the comments, please. That's all I ask. All I ask, because I'm doing this for free. I'm booked until January. If you're interested in having a session with me at askholly.com, askholly.com, or holly.consulting. There's no .com there, but askholly.com will get you there to book a session with me for the new year, see what 2019 is going on with you. And all I ask is for your feedback here so that people can get a quick idea of what I do. Now, 16. Okay, so the sale of that house will be when Neptune hits 16, and that is in, drum roll please, that's in March of 2019. If you're looking, what's holding you back? What's been holding you back since the spring? Why don't we see the sale of the house there? You're still pondering on the financial part of it. Okay. I'm seeing you struggle with communication with somebody about, where is our dream house? Do we want to downsize? Do we want to upsize? Where do we want to go? We want this to be our forever dream house. That's where you're moving to. Okay. And so this is a dream come true. This is something that you've wanted for a long time. So that's when I see that happen. There is some communication issues between now, actually December 4th and December 13th. That's going to be maybe some legal parts, maybe discussing getting, maybe selling it on your own independently and getting more money for it. It seems to be around that. And so the plan is going to change around the financial part of it. And you're going to discuss that this week, and you'll have a different answer, a different plan. You'll reroute, recalibrate next week around the selling of the house. Now, I just want to look at one more thing to give you a heads up. It's all positives, all amazing. I'm so happy for you. And yeah, so it's just some communication of time, designing exactly what you want. Okay, you don't want to jump into it full-heartedly, or you're going to be very unhappy for 2019 if you just force yourself to just sell the house to get it over with. I would like to see you not even consider moving until a year from now, a year from February, if you could wait till then. Otherwise, your next destination will be a struggle for a year, and then you're going to be a happy camper in your dream location in a year from now. So now let's take a look at the other. Hi, Lily. Thank you. And Carrie. So let's take a look at the other person who is asking about their house. And they want to know, Andrea wants to know, will I get a house soon? So July 29th, I never give away the year. Unless you want me to, I can do that. And great. So let's see about this young lady getting a house. Now, Spirit is telling me that there's some memories going on here, and that this is, there's some sadness that's attached to a previous home, and moving into a new home is a liberation, but at the same token, some memories are going on there. So Uranus in Mercury. So again, another one, February 2020, very happy time for you in order to find that location. So you could find a house just before Christmas, just before Christmas. Can you imagine that? And then the other time would be February 2019, just after Christmas. So yes, you're definitely going to buy a house. There's not a problem there. And you've got it all well planned out. You've got the finances in place. You've got it all planned out. You've got it all figured out that way. You tried to do this a few years ago, didn't work out. There's some family involved as well. Maybe you've got kids. I'm not sure that you're bringing along with you. But let me just take a look at one more thing to see if I can pinpoint an exact date. It's going to be a lot easier for you after March 2019. Okay, so I want you to look at February, March. That's a much better time for you to take a look. So you might find a house that you like just before Christmas, get disappointed, can't get that. It's okay, because there's this blessing in disguise where this woman comes along in March, February, March, that literally gives you like the best last minute opportunity. And there might be some distance here. You might be moving to another country or another state, or there's definitely some distance there. There is sadness, there's anguish, there's frustration all around the home energy. So that's going to end in March for you. Okay. So let's look at the next question. Will money come my way in 2019? Is that not always the best question? What I love about what I do is we don't just take a look at, will I find Mr. Right? Will I find my house? Will I find money? We take a look at the core soul value of how and what is blocking you, what's holding you back, and how can you make this happen for you. Okay, so I'm going to go a little deep here. Okay, I'm going to go a little deep here. And we're going to look at Michael's question, whom I just did a reading with today. What an amazing guy, amazing, amazing soul. And he does. I already remember that he's got a great fortune this 2009. Anything that he wants, he can basically manifest. This is a Neptune energy. This is a Neptune moon energy. So these are dreams. So when I say that to people, I go, look back when you were a child. Look back when you were 5. Look back when you were 15. Look back when you were 22. What was the dreams that you had then? That's the dreams that you're able to manifest now. Okay, so let me just take a look at that. I just want to double check the year. Glad I did that because my memory was off. Okay, Michael. So what kind of manifesting can you do um, for year? There we go. For 2019. So, the fog, you really want to work really hard, Michael, right now to manifest the dream before June 2019. Because what's going to happen is if you don't do that, which has to do with healing, okay, it's your moon, so it has to do with healing. It has to do with bringing out those healing capabilities that you have. And like I said, I have seen people that work in restaurants and they serve coffee, and but the elderly go to them every Friday because they have to see Sally Ann because they just feel good when they're around her. So she has this healing energy. So it could be anything like that, because I know you drive Uber, and it can be around that too. But it is definitely around working with kids, working with mothers and kids. And if you don't manifest this before June, there's going to be a real slump, sort of a depression or feeling depressed. Okay, so not feeling elevated, not feeling expansive, and feeling like confused that there's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be, I have to, because you're going to be pressed by your soul and by the universal mind to be in the healing profession, to support the underdog, those that are less advantaged, especially around the educational system, which I said to you. So is that going to create more abundance and more money? If you're doing that, yes, the money follows. That's the way it works with the universe, especially with healers. If you're not using your healing capability in any way, my husband and I, we were talking about a cab driver. He was called the Mr. Party Cab. He was like, looked like he was 80 years old, skinny, gaunt, older man. And he had and we live in a university town where there's a lot of students partying that you're driving around at midnight. And he would have this strobe, not a strobe, but that dance sparkle thing, that a ball that you put in. And he would put that in. He had that in his car. And to this day, even though he hasn't driven in like 5 years, the students still talk about this car that was the happy car, the party car, and he did some kind of healing to them. They would request him. They would love to be in his car. He was nonstop busy. So there was a healing and he entertained them. He played the music. So that's what I'm saying. It comes in a lot of different guises. So yes, before June, anything after June, some suppression is going to happen, or you figure out how to use that healing capability that you have. Again, all around education, mentoring, and supporting people. So I said this would be 15 minutes, but I started late. So did my mother see me at her grave? Okay, now I'm getting this energy right around here. As soon as you said this, I got this heaviness right around there. So I'm not sure if her illness was right around here or you were really sobbing. There was a really sobbing energy coming from you. And she definitely did see you. Her energy is still around you constantly. And what we have a dual energy. And I know this is really hard to understand. And I want you to look up, if you're curious about the concept of time. The concept of time doesn't exist. There is no concept of time. Look at that physicist, scientific, look on NASA, you're going to find out. And so that's why you have string physicists that are doing a string theory around multidimensional life. And when my belief system and a lot of the research that I've done is that our souls are recycled like a conveyor belt. So we're born, as soon as we die, we're reborn again in most cases. We hope to elevate ourselves spiritually, evolve as fast as possible. And that's my job at, if I may do a plug, at askholly.com. My job as an astrologer, psychic, intuitive, with this philosophy, uh, psychology background, is to speed up your elevation. So when we elevate to a certain height, we don't have to come back. So your mom is already back on Earth again. And I got that she's a niece or cousin. I got one of those. And but her energy is still on the other side as well too. So that's why sometimes we go to sleep and we dream about people we haven't seen in a while. Um, it's quite an odd concept, or people we don't know. We dream about it, right? So there's that connection, right? And healing a lot with teeth, sinus pain, spirit. Okay, let me look at Meg's in a second. So yes, let me say this. And she's also showing me a rosary. I don't know if it's blue or purple. It's got a lot of beads on it, thin with a lot of beads. So Angela, if you could confirm for me if I've hit home there. Um, Rada is asking, do you see me still living in the USA in 2019? And her birth date is in November. So let me take a look at that. I think in the future, it's great. We already got it in November because of Michael. And then let's look at the year. And great. And am I going to be still in the United States? So my spirit is telling me is that there's some kind of a green card or some sort of question of whether you'd be allowed to stay in the States or be able to keep a work visa or a green card, or there's something pulling you in your country from where you're from originally. So I'm seeing that you're not from originally here, or maybe you've got parents that aren't from here and you're being pulled back there. That's the energy that I'm getting from that. But let's take a look at the predictions for 2019 to see that. And it does seem to be with work related. And I'm not seeing anything terribly. There's definitely before the 19th, between the 10th and 19th of December, you get some news. It's very favorable. And let me look at something else here. Yeah, I'm not, unless you want to be, away from the United States because everything I see is favorable. If you don't want to be, then you're going to stay put. Now, I'm still looking at a couple of different energy fields here, definitely around work. Um, not sure, or responsibilities, anyways, definitely around responsibilities. Okay, so sometimes that can be responsibility for taking care of parents or a family member of some sort. So you've got the luck of the Irish before between the 10th and the 21st of December. You're going to get some news that's favorable at what you're wanting to hear. And by the end of February, I don't see that, if you want to be in the United States, you're in the United States. If you want to be wherever you're looking at going, that's where you're going to be. It's all favorable. You're a happy camper. And another one is my business is successful next year? And that's from Mike. And I'm going to take a look at his birth date, which is in August 22nd. And you know what? He's a Virgo. So Virgos about 4 years ago really went through, especially the ones at the beginning. And he's at the beginning. He's on the cusp. So anyone between August 22nd and September 10th, okay, the September 10th ones, the end of those dates are just at the end of that cycle now. The ones like Mike, which was at the beginning, really had a difficult time quite a few years ago, 5 years ago. And it lasted a little while, and it was depressing, and there was some misconduct or lies or cheating. I talked to somebody whose child died suddenly during that time 5 years ago. It's definitely a loss. A lot of confusion caused a lot of depression. But now, Mike, let's take a look at the year. You're just a young gapper. Yes, you are. Might not feel like it, but you got a lot of life ahead of you. And so let's see what the money. Now, let me just rephrase what Mike was saying. How will his business do? Okay. So if you've got a business that's working with women or working around the health industry and working with children, all of that stuff, you're definitely business material. You have to work for yourself. You're very good at problem solving. You're very good at managing, very good at managing. You're very good at planning, very good at planning. And what that lesson was that you went through 4 years ago was that not everything goes as planned, right? Not everything goes as planned. And so that was a difficult lesson for you. I just want to look at one more thing before I finish, because I just have to change something, Mike. So hang in there. I know you guys, it's not instantaneously. And so if you're able to waver from the plan, if you learned that lesson that not everything goes as planned, and you're more flexible because of that lesson that you went through. And Angela just confirmed that her mother did pass away from lung disease. So that's why I was getting that heaviness in the chest area right here where the lungs are. Right. So thank you for that confirmation, Angela. And that tells me that, and I don't know about the necklace that I'd mentioned, but that tells me she was there because she confirmed it by giving me some knowledge that I wouldn't know of. And hi, Vetli. Vetli has recommended so many people to me. She's one of my tribe people. If you go to my website at askholly.com, you'll see that you can join a tribe. It's a limited amount of people are allowed in there, and it's only up to 20, honestly. I think there's only just a few openings left. I just launched that. And that's where you can go in and converse with each other, and you can ask me questions, 3 questions a week, and I help support you through journeys. She's one of those people in there. Okay, so we're talking to Mike, and he wants to know how his business is going to go, and I'm just going to wrap it up, that question, because you have to be in business for yourself. It's going to be very, very successful. You started something in the spring of 2018, March 2019, bam. You were hungry for change. You needed this change. It's been it's going to be so, right now, you're so busy, you're so busy, right? So you're not a Virgo. You're right at the tail end of Aries 29. So you are a Leo, definitely. I'd have to know the place and the time that you're born, because if you were born later in the night, then you could be a Virgo. So you look at yourself as a Virgo and a Leo both. You've got leadership capabilities. You're a hard worker. You're very caring for children and families. And you could be a psychotherapist or a psychologist, or, you're definitely a problem solver. You dig deep to help people find the root cause to issues. Children could even be in the psychology, um, and health around that. But you've got great leadership, very successful. There's a sudden change of events, an opportunity. You've already had one that happened last spring, another one that's just happening now as we speak. So it's making you take a little bit of a turn, a little bit of a curve. It's definite expansion, and it's very exciting. By March, extremely successful. So there's your answer for that one. Let's take a look if I can get everybody answered. Um, so Angela's asking another one. I'm going to go to healing a lot with teeth, sinus pain, spirit in need of renewal. Okay, so February 5th, I won't again say the date. I'll be respectful of that. And I'm going to direct spirit to talk to me about Meg. Okay, let's go on about the teeth. Meg, I want to ask you right away if you've got fillings. If you've got fillings in there and if they're mercury. Okay, and if they're mercury, they shouldn't be from 1985, but if they're depending on where you had these, what country you had these fillings in, I'm getting that there's some kind of a nerve um, damage is in the top teeth area. Okay, but I'm still going to take a look on a deeper level here. And I just go to your dentist and have that figured out where that pain nerve is coming from. There's definitely pressure between the sinus and that nerve, like they're irritating each other. Okay, and now if you can anybody can give me confirmation on all of the messages that I've given, good or bad. I appreciate both. It helps me navigate and speak with spirit. And so let's take a look what's going on with Meg. And I look at psychological, I look on a spiritual level. Okay, and it's definitely more to do with sinus, and it's up in this area around the eyes. Okay, and let me look if you've got Scorpio in there. And it has to do with, have you had blows to the head, hits to the head when you were younger, head injuries? Sometimes that could be falling, hitting your head, several of them. Do you have ringing in the ears? That's the other one that I'm asking. So did you have a concussion? Do you get a lot of headaches and sinus headaches? It all has to do with some kind of blow or hit to the head. It's definitely past life stuff as well, where in a past life there was a huge head injury around that. So I would highly recommend that you go through a hypnosis, someone who's very good at what they're doing and safe. I'll actually PM you on a friend of mine, Bob, who's very good. A lot of my clients go to him for hypnosis, very reasonable. And you can do a healing around past lives if you so choose, if you believe in past lives. I do past life regressions as well. So I want you to take a look at that. That has been bothering you for about 3 years now. And I want to tell you when this cycle's going to be over. And we are, drum roll, please. Okay, so we're looking at in the new year. The hypnosis is going to help. I want you to take a look at adrenal fatigue as well. That's going to help because it's not draining properly because there's a lot of inflammation around that. I want to look at one more thing. And I want you to look at your central nervous system and also sugar. Okay, so your body doesn't assimilate sugar very well. Not sugars and fruits or natural stuff. All right, so I want you to take a look at those, and then you're going to get some relief. Okay, and then I'm just going to get, I get so serious. I'm just going to get one last one in here, which is Angela again, and will my husband, international business deal, be successful? And that is him. Is he? Okay, so I'm asking for him. Okay, so 927. So bear with me. You broke my rule, but I know 927 is September. I will do the math. When spirit's talking to me, it's like I can't do right brain, left brain stuff exactly at the same time. I'm not that ambidextrous. I'm a little bit. So I have to do the math and listen to spirit at the same time. I get stalled. It's stalling going on. So I'm going to double check the date to make sure that I've got this right. Absolutely, I do. And we're going to see what's going on with Mr. Libra and how his business is going to do. Again, another gentleman started making a dream come true the end of last winter, and it's going to continue until January 2020. And some people get disheartened and they think, oh, does that mean the dream's over? Not at all. It means between then and January 2020, extremely smooth, successful, just making that dream come true, going into a new, he's definitely taken on a new path, a new direction. Is going to have a huge amount of fulfillment. There's a woman that comes in at the end of the year that's going to be very supportive. If he's had any issues with women, fights or arguments with daughters or mothers or you, then that's going to smooth over as well. He's so he's got that year to work that out, and he definitely has to have work in a different direction. And let me just look at one more thing, and then I'm going to wrap this free session up. Again, you can get a hold of me at askholly.com, askhollyhall.com, askhollyhall, HALL.com, and Ask Holly Hall on Facebook as well. And I am booking into January now. I think I have 1 or 2 more openings for this month. And he gets the news that he's been waiting for in February. I'm not sure what that was. I don't know if he's looking for somebody to partner with. He's looking for a superior CEO or somebody who's good at what he does, somebody that he has a lot of admiration for. He's trying to bring over, and that's going to happen in February. If he's looking for a boss or some type of superior in the business. The word that I'm looking for? Like in management, he's looking for someone like that. So there you go, everyone. I thank you for being here, and thank you for all your wonderful messages. And I will just, okay. So yes, so she did confirm that the sinuses was definitely an issue. And the other one is confirming in my inbox for me because she wanted to be more private about it. And that's great. And right on about Mike, says Andrea. So that's great. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Namaste. May the stars be with you, and may all your dreams come true. Hi, everyone. I'm live. It's Holly. It's Holly from astroholly.com or www.holly.consulting. Instead of .com, it's .consulting. You can actually find me as well on Facebook at facebook.com/Holly Consulting 8, the number 8. It's my favorite number because it's a sign of the infinity. Today we're going to do some live readings. There's about half a dozen of you I'll be able to answer questions for, and we're going to just get to it right away. Namaste. So hopefully we've got some of you on live here. I'm going to just hang in there till I see some people. But what we're going to start first is global astrology. And I want to explain what I do, okay? So I'm not just an astrologer. I am not a soothsayer who's going to answer all of your fortune-telling type questions. Yes, I definitely do that. In fact, I had a email today from a gentleman who I read for just a few days ago who said, oh my God, you're freaking me out. My important person at work did contact me today and does want to connect with me next week. And I changed my diet as you had suggested, which was gluten-free. And all of a sudden he got the
2 nights in a row, he got his first 2 8-hours sleep in a row that he can't even remember ever having before. So you see, I don't just talk about when are you going to meet Mr. Right? When are you going to win $1 million? And what's going to happen to you in 2019? This goes deeper than that, very deep. This is about your spiritual soul. This is about your physical, mental, heart, and soul capabilities. I look into past lives. I help parents with their children. Don't get your children, not sure why they're acting the way they are. I can completely iron out all those wrinkles and create such a bond between the two of you. How to heal childhood trauma, issues with your mother, issues with your father. And why can't I get that favorite job that I want? What is my purpose in life? All of those things I help you figure out. And I can see all of this without even meeting you, without even seeing your face. So what we're here for today is I'm going to talk about global astrology, what's going on in the stars right now. And then we're going to take a look at some of the people's astrological chart and answer some of their questions. Hi, Andrea. So we are, first I think I can share a screen. I thought it said that I could share a screen. I was so excited. No, I can create a post. I can edit my post. I could share a screen before I went live, but apparently not now. So I won't be able to do that. So what I'm going to do, hey Jody, so what I'm going to do is talk about global, and then I'm going to answer your questions. All right. The first thing I want to talk about is Jupiter just went into Sagittarius. What the heck does this mean? Jupiter globally is about good fortune. Okay, it's about good fortune, good luck, financial abundance, expansion, right? Anything about Jupiter is awesome. But what's really super duper cool is that it's in Sagittarius. That's its original sign. Every planet, including the sun and the moon, which aren't planets, have their own particular sign. And Jupiter's sign, astrological sign, is Sagittarius. That's its home. So here we have the planet of expansion and money and financial abundance, and it's in its own sign for the next approximately 11 months. So for the next 11 months, we're going to start seeing shifts in interest rates. We're going to start seeing a leveling off of a more reasonable around mortgages and being able to purchase mortgages, a lot less disclosure, closures as well. And we're also going to be seeing changes and shifts in the educational system. And so I'm in Canada, but this is what I'm talking about globally. Okay, we're going to start to see some meetings of the minds, more intellectual, and we're going to start seeing a scientific pull. Science is going to come forward and kind of give us the meaning of life, of how certain types of global issues are affecting our health, affecting our big pharma, and they won't be able to deny it. They won't be able to deny this truth. Nobody will be able to. And so that's really going to shift globally the whole financial status for people. So most people are going to feel a shift financially and abundance around that. Educating yourself, especially now when we got the moon just closing in Sagittarius, and Mercury is actually going to go retrograde, and it's going to hover around Sag. So you're going to be getting a lot of news, and information will be bombarding us in the next 2 months, okay, before 2019. We're going to see a lot of this global shifts in the news around finances. And then we're looking at Uranus, which is retrograde, and it's hovering between Aries and Taurus, So Uranus is about change. It's about, I want to be me, and it's about being your unique self that you are. How do you fit? How does your unique self fit into the world? Globally, it definitely ups the scale on any type of unique situations, such as gender roles, such as, for instance, women president, women higher up in climbing up the ladder politically. You're going to see some changes in that too, but that's not really going to happen until April. And this person may be in charge of finances. So in Canada and in the United States, but also different parts of the world, you're going to see some women rise above to either secretary, in the politicals. Maybe there's police there too. That might be spirit talking. And there's also going to be able to make a big difference that way. Hi, Cynthia. And Sarah. So So let's look for that in April. And then finally, there's going to be some reality around finances for people. So I'm seeing actually, even like for the United States, I'm seeing a healthcare system, right? That's going to be a lot more reasonable. And it's about the people. And that's really what's happening is the people start to take a stand because they can't handle not only the political arena, but also with all the disasters going on and the shootings and everything, that they're not getting the support, the political support. So communities has to band together more. Community has to come together more. And it just suddenly happens overnight in April, which I'm really happy to see. And then the healing begins. The healing begins globally. I said this about a year ago, that there was going to be some big changes in the government, in Big Daddy, Big Brother, that is going to shock people. And that's what's going to make a big, huge difference around why we need to make a change, because we're shocked. We're shell shocked. We're just like, we can't believe this is happening. And so the pendulum has swung completely to the other side, and it was on one side. Now it's completely shifted to the other side, and then we're going to sort of waver in between and in the middle. So I'm going to jump ahead right away, and we're going to look at Tat. So she's October 19th. I won't say the year, but she's 2019. And so she was asking about an endeavor, a financial endeavor or an opportunity that she's wondering if it's a scam or not. I apologize for the Facebook dingy-dingies. People are messaging me. And so I'm going to say right off the hop, I'm not comfortable with that financial situation. And the reason or opportunity. And the reason is that you got to be, especially if it's coming from a woman, I want you to do your due diligence and do some double checking, especially if it's in the cloak or in the armor of a friend or a family member, somebody that you know. So there is that trust level there. But since last spring of 2018, I can see that November and until November 2020, you are in what's called a rebirth. And that means you're learning who to trust, who to love, and who not to love, who to care for and who not to care for. And basically, it's about loving and caring for yourself and doing what you love. So I would say 100%, if you do not love this, if it's just ching ching, looks like a good deal, could give you some independence financially, but it's not, you're not loving it, you're not feeling it, don't do it. Because when Pluto squares Venus in your chart, you are going to learn that if you don't love it, it ain't going to work for you. And it does for some people. Right? People get into schemes and they get into pyramids and they get into a lot of different financial situations, and it works for some people. That's why they become successful, because everybody wants to become that next person that it's going to be successful with. And so people that are jumping on, may I have a reading? I'm going to see if I can get a chance to do some live readings, but I have a Facebook page at Holly Consulting 8, the number 8, and I posted a few hours ago, actually yesterday, and a few hours ago, that anybody who had a question, ask me the question now so I can do my research, and then I would have a live session like I'm doing now, and I'll answer everybody's questions. So in the future, if you want Ray to have your questions answered, like my page, and then you'll get notification of that. Okay. Now, if this is something, Tat, that just came to you recently, it is possible that this will become very successful, especially if it came through a woman, but only if it's something that you love to do, that it rings true for you. It's authentic to what you love, what you cherish, what you admire. And so I'm going to take a look at Venus, and Venus is, and we've talked about this before because you're a regular coaching client of mine, and you've got Mercury in Libra. So Mercury in Libra people, it's hard to say no. They want to trust, they want to believe, they want to help somebody, they want to support their friends, the people that they love. Okay, but this is not about the people that you love. It's about loving yourself and doing something that's solely for you, that you really love to do. So hopefully that rings true for you, Tatiana. I'm not sure if you're here or not listening. And so the next one that commented on my post at Holly Consulting 8 was asking a question around the purpose. Okay, and that's September 16th. So you know who you are. You're asking for life purpose, and you were hoping that in 2019 that this would come your way. And it's definitely, in fact, it's going to happen a little bit sooner than that. It's going to be happening in the mid part of December, if not even the beginning of December. And then you're really going to see that shift in March of 2019. Now, one of the things that stands out is that, now, okay, I got some kind of a spam and now I can't see let's get rid of that. So, okay, I'm gonna have to open up another window. So I'm gonna spam just like jumped right in front of your chart. Now I can't see it anymore. Okay, so you got a lot of Virgo in your chart, and definitely what you're here to do is to serve. Okay, and especially when you got a double Virgo in your chart. So, but not to be a servant. And there's a big difference. It's very easy. You've got a lot of Libra in your chart as well, too. It's very easy for you to become a servant, and people take advantage of you because you're easygoing. You do what other people want. You've always done that your entire life. You're the good girl. And you're tired of that. You've been tired of that since 2014, 15, actually, when you went through quite a struggle at that time, maybe even more towards a depression, and extremely confused, and a lot of resentment. And when we serve others for the sake of people pleasing, then the side effect of that is to become resentful. Okay, and therefore, what you want to do now is you want to serve people for the sake of really helping people that need help. Okay, not just because you like them or you want them to like you, actually because they need help. So March 2019, that's when I see you given an opportunity in order to support and help and nurture other people. And it has to do, I don't know what time you were born actually, so I can't look at the houses there, but I want you to take a look at childhood and relationship with mom. And the relationship that you had with mom, and how you served her, and how you were the good girl, and how you helped support her, and you did what was right, and you created peace, you kept the peace. This is what you're going to do now, okay? But you're going to do it in a way where you're going to be get recognition. You know, you're going to get approval. You're not going to get criticized for it, and it's not going to be demanding more of that. Okay, so, and when I say serving others, I mean, you're very good in nutrition and in the medical, but you're also good with legal and lawyer as well, too. But even if you're working in a factory and you put together a group that helps serve people who've got mental health issues, okay? And because fairness is really important to you. If things aren't fair, if there's no equality going on, you want to step in. You're normally quite shy and reserved, but this year you won't be able to hold back, okay? And then that mission is to serve. If you want to go overseas instead of traveling, you're going to want to go there and serve. You don't necessarily have to sign up to those expensive volunteer situations. You can actually go to the country, go up to the consulate and say, I want to volunteer for a day. Where can I go? Go up to a restaurant. I want to volunteer for a day. Where do I go? Okay, so hopefully that has helped you out as well. And so the next one is you want a prediction for 2019. Now, like I said at the beginning, I'm not just a fortune teller, okay? I dig deep into your soul and I help you create your life the way that you want it and the way that you wanted it created before you were born. All right, so I'm not going to say like in March you're going to meet Mr. Right, and in June you're going to get this amazing job. When I do coaching and it's a one-on-one and we're talking back and forth, Spirit starts to talk to me, and all of these predictions do come true, do start to come out. Now, for 2019, for you, and wow, I could have been speaking to you too, because you had a difficult time in 2014 as well. All these Virgo people, these Virgo Libra people, I know you're Sag, but you got a lot of Virgo Libra in your chart, okay? So your moon is in Virgo, I believe. So let me just take a look. I was scrolling. So, no, Cancer. So your moon's in Cancer. So 2019, there is, I'm not seeing anything stand out actually, anything major. Let me take a look on another area. Okay, there we go. Now it's happening. Okay, so actually mid-October of 2018, there would have been this opportunity for you, and it's going to come into fruition in the end of this month of 2018, actually. So it's a very, it's almost like a little bit of an abundance. It's like you get recognition. There's some finances involved there. There could be a trip, a last minute trip as well. I do see traveling for you in March of 2019. Sagittarius, the Jupiter of Sag is going to be going over your Mercury. It's going to hit right away. It's hitting this month. So there's going to be some good fortune come to you in a way that you can take charge. Take charge of your life if you're in a manager. I don't see, you like your freedom. So this is interesting. If you've got children, you're ready to have some freedom away from some responsibilities that you had financially. And that is, you're able to do that this month. And then as of, let me take a look. Yeah, as of the fall of 2019, that's when you begin traveling. In fact, there's a possibility that this affects your home as well. So a selling of a home and being able to have more freedom to be able to expand on traveling and maybe even education, maybe even further your education. When you travel, though, you do like relaxation and you like peace and you like quiet, but you also like to learn about the culture. You're very much a cultural person. You want to know, why did they live the way they live? How do they live the way they live? So it's not just sitting on the beach and drinking margaritas. Okay, so this is something that last minute, you're like literally in April, and then come September, last minute, you're going to be going, okay, I gotta explore this world. You know, I want to learn more about this world. And so that takes place for you then. Now, the next session here was, and that was Mel. So now we've got December 27th. Okay. And you wanted to know about a job. And then we've got our last one. And maybe Ray, if you put in your birth date there and your year that you were born and your question, I can answer it. Please don't ask just next from now on. If somebody says, what's going on in 2019? I'm not going to answer that. Okay. It's way too general and I can only give you a general answer. Okay. So this one wanted specifically to know if there was a job for her coming into place 2019. And job, girlfriend, you should be self-employed. You want freedom. You need freedom. It's so hard for you to work for other people. And you discovered this in the last 3 years, that working, it's not just that you just seem to happen upon all the worst bosses in the world or the worst situations in the world, but really you're so good at what you do that not a lot of people can match how good you are. So you are going to work for people that you're like, I could do a better job than they are. You know, I could handle what they're handling so much better than that. I can project manage better than what they're doing. And it's because it's true. Okay. There's not too many people that come around that are really good at project managing as you are. And you had this opportunity at the beginning of the year and to take on a central role where you're sort of captain of the ship, you know, where you're taking care of managing a situation. And so if you think of roughly 14 years ago, okay, you went through a period of adversity and low vitality, and you decided then that was a new beginning for you, and that was the onset of the career. That's coming to a closure now, and now there's something new at the end of November that you're ready to take on, new projects. All right. And you're just ready for a change. You just don't want to do things. Things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out, and you're ready for a change career-wise. And so you will become successful within the 2 years. This is a 2-year cycle, so it's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be a woman in the mid part of February that's going to approach you. You may ignore it though, because you can get very comfortable. You can get very at home where you're at, and it's hard for you to push yourself. into a different direction if it's uncomfortable, right? So life is going to start getting uncomfortable for the next year. And it's going to keep getting uncomfortable until you get pushed, pushed, pushed into a new direction. You're multi-talented. And that is what's challenging for you. What do? I can do so many things. But what you are naturally good at is a teacher. Okay. So you don't have to be a teacher in a traditional school system. I've seen people who are nurses, who work in factories. I know someone who's in sales. I know someone who's an accountant, and they all have teaching positions in their jobs. They go around the world and they teach people whatever there is. When new people come in, they teach these people the new system that's in place in their factory, etc. So as long as you're in a management position and you're self-employed, or better yet, self-employed, and you help teach or motivate or coach other people to have a better life, then you will be 100% successful. Self-employment gives you the freedom to work as hard or not as hard as you want, because you oscillate between the two. Heavy, heavy play, heavy, heavy work. Okay? So all I ask people is for some feedback. Okay? Definitely. Hi, Nina. Definitely give me, hi, Oana, give me some feedback. And soulmate. Oh, you don't want me to go on about soulmate, sister. Because soulmates. Which soulmate do you want to know about? Do you want to know about the ones that come in what's that trilogy that came out? I think there was 4 movies that came out with the werewolves and the Cinderella stories like that. That doesn't exist. Okay, hate to break all your bubbles, but those soulmates do not exist. There's maybe 1% of us who can have a short-term relationship with a person that we've had a life with before, and we've worked out all of our issues and all of our problems, and we meet with each other, and we just have this wonderful, amazing life. But the one reason that you're here on earth is to evolve your soul and to rid karma with other people other souls that you have spent many lifetimes with. Okay. And you're going to meet all those people in this lifetime, and they're soulmates. They are soulmates, but it's not the fairy tale, romantic harlequin romance book type of one. It's the ones where when you're, you go through thick and thin and ups and downs and heartaches, and you go through self-loathing and self-hatred and lack of trust, and you learn and you grow, and you become the best person that you can be because that person was in your life, either negatively or positively. They push you to become the best person that you can. That's your soulmate. Okay, now if you can recognize that, then you are blessed, because at the end of that lesson, at the end of that road, and that's what I love about my job, is that I can speed you up on that progress. I have taken unhealthy relationships that were ready to break up, and I could tell you a story, but I won't go into it now. This one couple I always use as an example. They were ready to break up, and by the end of a lesson that I had them go through for 2 months, they are still together 5 years later, in love more than ever, because they recognized the spirit, the connection, and the reason that they were together. They recognize that. Okay. So then that's how you find your soulmate. So, and you have to look for your soulmate. You can't say like he has to have brown hair, and he has to be tall, and he has to be thin, and he has to have perfect teeth, and he has to be a certain nationality, and he can't not have hair. And, that is really not allowing you to get that soulmate that's out there for you, because he'll walk right by, or she'll walk right by, and you won't even recognize that person was in the room, because you've narrowed your vision, right? And we have many soulmates. We don't just have one. Okay, we have many. My daughter's my soulmate, right? My husband I've definitely had a lifetime with before, and we're perfecting it in this relationship, in this lifetime. And we will up the game in the soulmate department. That's my hope. Some people I call soulmates in training. So you may meet someone who will become your soulmate as long as you can grasp the lessons that you have to learn with each other. And then you'll come back together again, because it'll be easier, right? So now we've got a particular person who was wondering, oh, wait a minute. November Right. So that was, okay, so that was November for the job. So now we've got a particular person who is asking that she wants to be able to raise some money, to be able to do some schooling, and she's not sure where the heck that's going to come from and if it's going to come. Okay. So this is, there's Jupiter, which I like. So the end of February. So the end of February, there's a huge opportunity. And I know that this particular event is January, February that she's looking at. And this continues to November 2019. So I will tell you, you will find the funds for that. And it's about redirecting funds that you already have now. So you've got some playing room here. You've got some money here and you've got some money there. And it's kind of being spread out too thin. And there's a way for you to be able to manage that so that there's more funds coming in. Now, Spirit talks to me sometimes and says, don't you remember this story, Holly? And I want you to tell that story, Holly, because this person is going to benefit from that story. It will speak to them. So here's a story Spirit's telling me to tell you. I had a particular client who I've been working with for a couple of years who wanted to change her business, become self-employed so that she could make money, so she could travel more and take some more time off so she didn't have to work as hard. And I said, no, you don't need to do that. You know, what you're doing is you're creating more business for you. What you want is you want more money so you can travel more and some freedom so you can travel more. That's what you want. That's all you put out there. Not, I have to quit where I'm working now and open up another office, and I have to find the office in a certain area, and it has to cost a certain amount of money so I can expand my clientele, so that I can be busier, so I can make more money, so I can go on vacation, right? And I said, no, that's not what you do. So we worked on a lot of blocks that she had, and I said, you can bring in, she lives in a house all by herself. I said, you can bring in a student that will pay you rent. At the time, it was $1,000 a month, right? Oh no, can't have somebody live with me. I have trust issues. Okay, let's work on those trust issues. Let's go back to your childhood trauma and work that out. So we worked on those trust issues. She got somebody in there. She's making $1,000 extra a month. She upped her rate with her current clientele, and now she's traveling. She's gone on 3 vacations this year. And she didn't have to do any of that. And she had a big fear of upping her fees. She had the same fees for her clients for forever. And they all were glad to pay it, right? So, but we had to help her let go of some of these blocks. So this is a story, excuse me, I have a cold, that I believe will resonate with you. So yes, you will have the money. This is going to begin, but there's going to be some juggling around of funds that's going to happen. There's also Jupiter. Jupiter means you can ask, okay? Ask and you shall receive. So whatever this particular course is, ask that program or ask that person if there's a way that you can pay in installments, if there's a way that, if there's anything that you can do to help them that might give you a discount, right? You're a multitasking person. You're a good person. You're solid. You're good with money. So maybe you're able, and money's always an issue for you, all right? So it's not easy for you to move money around, all right? You like to have your nest egg. So yes, it can be done and it will happen. Namaste. I'm going to do a couple of live ones now. And I really love feedback, people. So please, that's all I ask. I'm doing this for free. You know, I charge $150 an hour. I'm booked up until December. In fact, I'm starting to book up for 2019. I'm going to be putting a special on for 2019 so that everybody can get a good head start on what they want to do for 2019. So you want to sign up at Holly Consulting 8 on Facebook, but you also want to go to astroholly.com or holly.consulting, so not .com, .consulting, and you want to sign up to my newsletter so that you can get this huge deal that's coming in 2019, and you want to book a session with me. I've got clients, some of you guys are in the room there, that come to me regularly and benefit from my coaching sessions. I have a psychology and a philosophy educational background at the University of York in Toronto, and I'm a master astrologer, but I'm also a psychic intuition, and spirit talks to me. So there's that. So I'm going to jump now, and Ray said, can you read for me? But she never did give me a birth date, I don't think. Yeah, see, Oana had, Andrea, you're welcome. I hope, please see if it rings true for you. And Olivia, I don't know if you're here anymore. Maybe you can click a heart to tell me that you're here, but you can listen to this later and I'll do one for you and then I'm going to go. So we've got March. My computer really wants to give me a hard time. 20th. And I won't say the year. And you want to know about soulmate. I'm just going to say partner if your partner is coming and you're not clear on what your purpose is. So I'm going to tell you all about you and then you'll know exactly what your purpose is. March. There we go. Okay. If you could see what I could see. Okay. So this is really cool. Right away just recently, actually, you would have gotten some benefits around work, and that's going to continue in December. You're right on the cusp, right? So depending on what time you were born, I got you at around 4 in the morning. But if you were born later in the afternoon or late morning, then you're not a Pisces, you're an Aries. But you've got a ton of Aries Pisces in your chart with a ton of Sagittarius, okay? So you're a healer and you're a rescuer. So you like to travel and you love education. You constantly like to learn and you're a philosopher. So basically your purpose in life is to heal and you're going to help people you're going to encourage people to find bravery and to heal through courage. Now, some people can do this where they work in hospitals and they work in the emergency situation. They're on the front line in any type of job where they rescue and they help and they support people. Where things are constantly changing because you love adventure, right? But you get burnt out, okay, because of that Pisces in you. So you go, 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 and then you crash. And then you just want to sleep all day long or for days. So you have to remember, Miss March 20th, to Olivia, to every day you got to recharge. Every day. I don't care if it's a glass of wine before you go to bed, a hot bath before you go to bed, read a book before you go to bed, listen to some meditation before you go to bed, take a shower when you get home, not in the morning, so that okay, that is you're plugging in, okay, you're plugging in to recharge because you take on so much of other people's energy and you're feisty, you're a fighter, you're always looking for something to fight, something to win, some battle to win. So pick your battles wisely, okay, because you can exhaust yourself, burn your candles at both ends. You're definitely had quite a difficult time in 2015, but that cycle is over and some traveling is definitely going to be happening in the end of the end of summer 2019. There's some travel. But if you can heal and help and rescue people, and you're also really good around music. So if you are not working right now, and if you have the opportunity, then volunteer in as many places where people need inspiration. People are have a struggle. You know, they're really suffering with struggles and they need somebody to pull them up. You don't have the patience for actually people who just want to boo-hoo about their life for months. That's not your thing. You really want people who want to help themselves and that you support them. And they got that get up and then go. They got that fire in them and you're just supporting them, guiding them with that. Okay. So I'd have to know more about exactly what you do, but that is your mission, healing and helping people to get courage, you know, to fight for their rights, fight for what they want. You've got that in you. Okay, so there we go. So hopefully that has supported everybody. And I didn't get any feedback, but I do ask that possibly when you listen to this, again, you can put your feedback down there. And you can get a hold of me at holly.consulting instead of .com or hollyconsulting8 on Facebook or astroholly.com. Okay? Namaste.
Do you know who you are? Do you actually know who you are? I think many times in our lifetimes we ask ourselves, who am I? Why am I like this? Why do I do this? Why does it affect me the way that it does? If you do what I call an inside out analysis of yourself, every time you have an event that triggers you, pushes your buttons, or upsets you, you'll get a good idea about who you are. But what if you had a magic book that you were born with, the book of you? The book of you would be chapter by chapter manual of everything about you. What your health issues are, what your triggers are, what do you love, who do you love, why do you love, what makes you angry, what makes you sad, what is your passion, what's your destiny? Why do you think the way you think? Why do you feel the way you feel? Are you detached? Are you enmeshed? Why is your relationship the way it is with your mother, your father, your sister, your brother? Why did you go into one relationship after another? Why was there failure? Why was there triumph? Why did they disappear? How come it affected you the way that it did? These are all questions that we ask ourselves throughout our entire lives. We all do it, every single one of us. Well, you do have a manual and you do have a book of you. But if you were to open up that manual or that book, it would speak a language that not too many people can decipher. It would look like a bunch of hieroglyphics. Originally, back in the Babylonian age, astrology was meant only to do a deep dive into the spirit and the soul of you in a human incarnation. But somehow along the way, we got all trapped up with soothsayers, magicians, witches, psychics, mediums. But astrology isn't about that. Astrology is about taking power and being your authentic self, opening up that book, discovering who you are, and I can do that for you. I can spend 1 hour with you and discover who you are. A lot of times when we look in the mirror, we don't like what we see. Often we think, that mirror must be lying to us, because I definitely liked what I saw yesterday, and I do not like what I see today. Why is that? Well, the sky is ever changing. It's ebbing and flowing, goes in and out like the tides, and it changes like the wind in a moment's notice. And these energies affect us. It's no different than feeling completely content when you left your house this morning. Everything was fine, it was happy, you made the perfect coffee, you had a great conversation with your children, you walked out in glee, then you walked into your office, and one person looked at you and said, "Do you have that report? I asked for it yesterday." And everything comes crashing down. Energy, emotions, feelings, despair, self-doubt, self-talk, thinking starts to take place. Why? Take a good look at yourself and understand who you are. The less this happens, it doesn't trigger you, it doesn't upset you, it doesn't bother you, because you look at yourself and you go, there I go again, overthinking. There I go again, getting upset because I have high standards for myself, and somebody just pointed out that my standards may not be optimum. You'll just witness yourself. The more that people have coaching sessions with me, the more that they understand, believe themselves, and we then can use astrology as a predictive tool to create events, manifest energy that's currently around you and coming towards you in the future, and be prepared for those events so that you can use them to manifest and make all your dreams come true. It's that simple. The more that we understand ourselves, the more we understand our spouses, our children, our mothers, our fathers, our bosses, our coworkers, and then let's even add to that and take a look at their charts. Let's interweave their character, their personality, their weaknesses, their strengths, and mirror them off of your personality and strengths, etc. And you will see that this is something that can help you, propel you into finding happiness. Happiness in love, happiness in marriage, happiness with your kids. It's absolutely imperative. Now, you don't have to use astrology. You can use psychology, you can read self-help books, you can go to a therapist, you can constantly be your own psychotherapist and question yourself. I've been like this since I was a kid. It kind of drove me crazy, actually, because it was a little bit too self-introspective and extremely self-analytical to the point of criticism. People that are very analytical, very hardworking, very introspective, well, they can lean towards the critical side as well. I often question myself. Why do I feel this way when that person does such and such? I was bullied when I was a kid. I was teased, and I was always frustrated when I saw other people bully other people. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know why does one person, if we're all born the same, we're all born human, why do we all act so differently? And I discovered a lot of things through many, many years of observation, judgment, explanation, research, but nothing propelled me as fast as an astrological chart. It's not about your destiny being laid out in front of you. We definitely have callings. We definitely have a mandate. And our characteristic has been shaped in order to fulfill certain dreams and service for others. But we have choice. We have choice how we do that. Namaste.
Hi, everyone. I'm back again. I wanted to talk about the moon that is changing signs. And I want to give you an idea of what's going to be happening for the week. All right. So for this week, we're going to end our day in Sagittarius, and then it's going to go into Capricorn. So for Monday, Tuesday, and parts of Wednesday, we're going to be very serious. You're going to find a lot of people serious. Your bosses are going to be bugging you about deadlines, and anybody in authority is either going to push you or ask you to complete projects. And for some of you, especially if you're water and your fire signs, that's going to be uncomfortable, especially for Cancer, the sign in Cancer. And the reason is there's some childhood issues around parents that you're having, and you might want to deconstruct that and take a deeper look at what the triggers are, what buttons that they're pushing, and that there's that feeling that you're not the boss of me. Okay, you can't tell me what to do. And so you had a great fun weekend, fooling around, doing whatever you want, but the next 2.5 days going to be, get down to work, right? Get serious about this. It's still going to be difficult because a lot of us are like, oh, if I could just get the job done, and I don't want to deal with this right now because I want my freedom. I've got other things to do, people to see, places to go. And there's a really strong sense of wanting to be social, but there's a strong sense of teamwork too. So if you're Capricorn, you're Virgo, or you're Taurus, then the next 2.5 days, I want you to exercise the will that you have in asking other people to support you like a team. Okay, very strong earth signs don't necessarily want to ask people for help. Part of that is because they're shy, and the other part is because getting somebody to do the job just like they would have it done probably won't happen, so I might as well just do it all myself, which makes you all great martyrs and overworking and great bosses and very responsible. But there are some jobs that even if it doesn't turn out perfectly, you would still be happy. So please bring in your tribe, bring in your team, and have them help support you. Now, in the middle of the week, we're going to be moving towards Aquarius, and then Aquarius is going to be quite happy because we've still got Mars just at the tail end of Aquarius, and this is when we can start working in large organizations and working with teams and working with groups or community. That's really going to help support us. It's going to be a very friendly time, going to be quite friendly with other people. Now, if you're a Leo, you're going to feel like nobody's listening to you, nobody's supporting you. And especially if you've got other Aries, fire, and Leo and Sagittarius as well. So you're going to be quite frustrated with how everybody's just seems to be self-absorbed, narcissistic, doing things on their own, not including you. What about me? Where's the party? How come I wasn't invited? Right? And for the water signs too, you're going to feel that way too. There's going to feel a kind of a sense of loneliness, or nobody cares, or nobody's nurturing my needs. This is a time when you just want to reach out to the tribe, reach out to the group and go, how can I help? How can I serve? How can I support you? That's what you want to do for the latter part of the week. And then the weekend, we're going to fall into Pisces. We're all going to be so exhausted one way or the other. So if you hadn't heeded some of the tips and advice that I've given you, you might feel sick. You might feel worn down. You might just be exhausted or have some adrenal fatigue by the end of this week, coming up next weekend. And if you're a water sign or an earth sign, except for Virgo, you're going to, well, Virgo actually, but you're probably going to need it in a way because you're exhausted. You're going to want to take a break. Lock yourself in your room for the weekend and read books, meditate, go for walks in nature, spend some alone time. It's okay. Find a way to spend some alone time. They can take care of their own dinners. They can make sure that their laundry is done. They can do their own jobs. Let them do their own jobs, and you take a break for the weekend. Namaste.
Hi, everyone. It's Holly here from askholly.com or holly.consulting. It's today we're going to talk about a few things. First of all, I want to do some free readings for you guys. And I also want to give you $100 off. $100 off, right? So you got to stay tuned for that. I also want to talk about what can naturally make you calm in this crazy, crazy world, especially with the moon just transitioning out of Sagittarius when we had this crazy, kooky weekend with a lot of people in a hurry. Possibly you had a ton of energy. Possibly you were frustrated with people who had too much energy, trying to go too fast, didn't want to slow down in traffic, etc. And so I've got some secrets that I use to naturally feel calm. And I'm not naturally a calm person. I appear to be that way on the outside because I've got all this Virgo stuff going on. But on the inside, I'm a jumble of nerves at times. But I have devised of quite a few things that are guaranteed to help you naturally feel calm. Okay. And I'm going to give you that secret in a moment. In the meantime, I do have some prepared questions that I want to answer for a couple of my clients and give them a free session here. But I'd also invite you to go into the chat box right there. I think it is, or it might be down there. And I need you to add your birth date and your year. So please don't put 090291. I absolutely need to have your alphabetical month, such as April, okay, April 2nd, 1981. Okay, that's all I need. Or March, March 4th, 1972. Okay, so put that in the chat box and ask me one question, and I'm going to answer some readings. I'm also going to be talking about my new program that I've got coming for 2019, and it's the Year of Happiness. At the end of the day, everybody wants happiness. They'll ask me, when am I going to make $1 million? When am I going to meet Mr. Right? When am I going to be healthy? When am I going to when am I going to have children? When am I going to get married? And all of that, ultimately, they could just say, when am I going to be happy? When am I going to be happy? I'm just going to adjust this light here a bit because it's in my face. Okay. And so let's start off. Hi, Amy. So Amy, if you want to have a free question, just put down, I know I've done sessions for you before. Just put down your birth date and the year that you're born, and make sure that you use the numerology, sorry, not the numerology, the alphabetical of your month, such as March rather than 03. And so the first thing I'm going to talk about before I get to my readings and my sessions is how to be naturally calm. Okay, I'm going to wait a few more minutes to see if we can get some more people to join me live. Okay, but we're definitely going to be talking about free readings and what is the moon going to be in for this month. We're going to talk about some natural things to be calm. And a lot of people think that I'm just about predictions and I'm just about astrology and that I'm some kind of a soothsayer or a fortune teller. I'm not. Okay, this is a type of science where there's a universal energy that we are completely tied into, 100% tied into, and we can tap into that universal energy. And it's cryptic, I have to admit. When you take a look at somebody's birth chart, and I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm looking at when I look at somebody's birth chart, okay? I'm looking at a wheel that looks something like this. If you can see that. It looks something like this, except all of the planets, which are in a glyph form, right? Hieroglyphics. And if you look here, you can see that. Hi, Gabby. So ask me your questions, people. See these glyphs? Okay, and I know what they mean. And they interact with each other. And I know what they mean. So I'm going to give you an idea because I think, yeah, so here we go. This is what I'm looking at when I'm doing somebody's reading, when I'm doing somebody's. You see this book is well used because this is my very first book that I learned astrology from. See how well used that is? This book is older than dirt. Okay, you can get this on Amazon, and it's the best book to get if you want to learn astrology. And I do give private lessons if you're interested in learning astrology yourself. They're between $300 and $500, and they're private lessons, just you and I, and we focus on that. And so type in the month, such as May 2nd, 1982, in the chat box and what your question is, and I'm going to answer free questions. Plus, I'm going to talk to you about what lies ahead this week astrologically. And so when I'm doing a reading for people, I have got a lifetime of experience. I have a educational background in psychology, philosophy, as well as I've studied dreams excessively. And if you've got a dream, post that in there too. Hey, Lily, these are all my clients. And you can get a hold of me at askhollyhall.com. That's Hall, just like the hallway. Ask Holly Hall. So here's my first tip for keeping calm and chillaxed. And that is the four, let's get the shine off of it. The Four Noble Truths. Okay, the Four Noble Truths. And you can look that up online. Very thin book. Doesn't take much. Got this from my, just near Niagara Falls. We have a huge Buddhist temple, and it's amazing. And if you go, and also the Four Agreements, okay, they're separate. They're not the same. If you follow those like a philosophy, like a religion, it's going to bring you calmness. It's going to bring you your faith. And it really doesn't matter. Same with Buddhism. We don't care what religion you are. We don't judge if you're Catholic or Protestant, Muslim. It really doesn't matter, you know, as long as you're a good person. It doesn't matter what your faith is. As long as it helps you be a good person and find some inner peace, that is what is the most important thing. So the Four Noble Truths, the first one is suffering, okay, is the understanding that if you are human, you're going to suffer. That is a part of the human existence. And that doesn't mean doom and gloom. It just means you're going to be hungry. You're going to have sadness. You're going to wish for happiness. You're going to have loss. You're going to have physical pain. You're going to have emotional pain. You're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. That's what it means by suffering. The acceptance of that. And know that it's not, okay, so the next one, knowing that it's not permanent. So the next noble truth is impermanence. So knowing that everything is always changing, nothing is permanent, and nothing will continue to stay the same. The next one, I look like I got a glow on the top of my head. Let me move here. There we go. So the next one is desire. That's the second noble truth. Desire, I feel, is our most difficult thing to overcome in this lifetime. Why? Because we desire pretty glasses. I'm still going to be, make this up here. It looks like a good, being such a Virgo. Um, we desire pretty clothes. We desire nice hair. We desire nice furniture. We desire money. We desire a great job. We desire love. We desire human connection. We desire um, strawberries rather than bananas. We desire pizza rather than avocados, right? We desire, and those desires get us in trouble. We desire so many different types of food. And whenever you go on a diet, whenever you go on a nutritional change, such as becoming gluten-free or dairy-free or vegetarian or vegan, whenever you decide to declutter your home or downsize, what do you have to do? You have to let go of desire, because desire makes it difficult for us to let go. Desire makes us want pizza instead of a salad. Okay. Desire wants us to eat um, breaded, gravy-laden chicken instead of an apple, strawberries, and some bananas. Desire wants us to have that, right? It's there hundreds of years ago. It was just a matter of being fed, right? And so Lily's asking me, how does she make the shift? How does she make a shift at the end of the year? And she's a regular client of mine, so I'm going to answer that. The next one is, the fourth one is the right to understand, the right for free speech. Okay? And so that is acceptance and understanding of what makes people who they are. We just went through a Sagittarian moon, and we are now going to be moving into Capricorn for the rest of this week. And I'm just looking at my data here. And so Capricorn, it moves into Capricorn on today. Okay, it moved into Capricorn today. So all of you, you're going to find yourself becoming a lot more serious, a lot more looking at work, getting the job done. So this weekend it was about fun and enjoyment. I went to Niagara with my husband. We watched a magic show. God, it was such a good magic show. It was fun. It was playful. It was exciting. I was in awe. You know, it really made me think of how illusion, you know, because some of the things that they did, you know, he cut himself into a million pieces on this board, and you could see above, behind, below. You could see everywhere. And he was just on this thin sort of platform. So there was an illusion. Obviously, he didn't cut himself into a million pieces, but the illusion of life, we are so easily fooled, right? Without even realizing it. And it makes us think that we desire, that we need certain things in life. So this week, I want you to use the Capricorn energy and seriously take a look at what is really important in your life. What do you need just to survive? What do you need just for sustainability? What do you need, right? There's water, there's food, there's air, there's love. What do you need? And how can you provide that for yourself? And see how simplistic you can live this week. The other thing that makes it really stressful for us, that makes life really hard on us, is just the substances, the ingredients in our life. So for instance, I have adopted sort of a no poo solution. What does that mean? That doesn't mean I don't go poo. It means I don't use shampoo, okay, because of all the chemicals in it. And I have a background as a hairstylist, so I get that stuff there. So I make my own, and this is it here. Okay, I got this little container for 80 cents at IKEA. It's glass, which is cool. And what's in here is magic. No, it isn't magic. All it is baking soda, water, a little bit of honey, a tablespoon of honey, and lavender. That's it. I can use this on my face, I can use this on my skin, and I can use this on my hair. And honestly, it's not, you would think that it leaves it feeling gritty and tacky. It doesn't. It actually, you have to rinse it off quite a bit because there's this smoothness right away. Like your hair has this, almost like I put conditioner on it. And I don't over rinse it because I want that softness. I want that feeling that the conditioner is still on there. And I use that for my skin too. And it's got a little bit of grit. You can also use it for your teeth. I tend to use more of a pure baking soda, but use it for your teeth. You want to know why? Because the chemicals that are in your your shampoo, in your conditioner, in your face wash, in your toothpaste are poisoning us. It's poisoning us. You don't even want to know what some of these ingredients do to us physically. And you know where they have to go through? It has to go through our liver. Even when you put it topically on your face, our skin absorbs a certain amount and it goes into our liver. And that's why 90% of Americans, okay, so North Americans have fatty livers because our livers have to work so hard every single day to filter out poisons. So this is, okay, try it. It works. The other thing I take every night is magnesium. This is my favorite, Calm. See if I can get it out of the light. Calm, okay? It's natural vitality. This one tastes like lemon raspberry. Just mix it in some water. Non-GMO. It's vegan. Love it. And you take it at night. It restores your magnesium. As we get older, we make less and less melatonin. We make less and less magnesium. I will tell you what magical happened when I started using that. I used to have pinching and tingling down my arms, probably from years and years being a hairdresser in the past, using my arms a lot. And that's what I attribute it to. My parents were also hairdressers. My mother was also a tarot card reader and a psychic. So that combination. And they had the same thing, the carpal tunnel, the pinching. As soon as I started taking the Calm, the magnesium, and this is the best form. You can take it in the pills. It's not going to digest. Your body won't digest it. And that has to go through your liver as well. So take it in that powder form. I woke up, no more tingles, no more tingles, no more pinching, no more arms falling asleep in the morning, no more tingles or pain in my arms when I woke up. You know, when you sleep like this for a long time and you wake up and your arms like, falls asleep. Okay, none of that. No more pain throughout the day, shooting down my arms and through this. Another thing that I love is lavender. Lavender. I love this stuff. Okay, just a little smell here and there makes me calm, relax, and I make my own cream and I put it in that cream as well. And I use that on my hands and I use that on my face. So that's for calming. Now, like I said, I'm not the most perfectly calm person in the world. I have my anxieties just like everybody else. But when we let go of the chemicals that is in our food, okay, so everybody knows that I'm pretty much vegan. I'm not a diehard. I'd say once or twice a year, I screw up. I don't eat meat though. No, no meat. Meat is a big no-no, and cheese. And the other thing that really made a huge difference for me was gluten. I used to have all these crazy things. So I used to have a lot of problems going on in my neck area and in my chest area. It was so weird. I just would go like this and there would be like all these little bumps, almost like an orange peel going all across my chest. Same thing in my stomach, same thing in my legs. Got rid of gluten, all of it gone. All of it. All of it. Right? And as you can see, my neck is smooth. Right? All of it gone. So incredible. I don't even know. I don't even want to know what happened because of that gluten. Again, once in a while, I have the gluten, but maybe once a month, not even. So try all of these things and detoxify your body and stop making your liver work so hard. You know what the crazy thing is? In astrology, liver, and in Louise Hay, who has the book Heal Your Body, Heal Your Life, the liver is where we store our anger. Okay, so imagine that. We're taxing our liver every single day with the air we breathe, no along the creams that we use, and even, take a look at even some of the supplements we use is hard on our liver, and especially the foods, okay, that we have. Anything unnatural is really hard on our liver. And so we're walking around with this liver that's supposed to help us with anger. And it can hardly sustain our humanness, no longer dealing with our anger. So take a look at that. And with the moon going into Capricorn, we're going to get super duper responsible. We're going to be really hardworking, almost too hardworking. You know, you want to give yourself a break this week, but get the job done because that's important. And so I'm going to take a look at Lily here. She's asking me how she can, and I really want you guys, you know, put something in there. Let me help answer your questions. And so with Lily, I'm going to take a look at her chart and we're going to find out what's going on with her and how are we going to get her to wrap up her year. Okay. So as I'm looking that up, I'm going to tell you guys, I have a program called the Year of Happiness. Okay. And in this program, I work with you one-on-one very closely and also as a group. Okay. So you get 10 readings for the entire year. And you're going to think 10 readings. Why do I need 10 readings? Because every single month is, every single day, every single week is chock full of messages, support, and and a language from the universe. And I speak that language directly to you. And I connect you directly to the universe and help you through all the ebbs and flows, give you the best dates and the best ways to work out specific problems, whether you're in business for yourself or you're changing your career or you want to have a better health or you want to have a better relationship or you want to find that man or woman of your dreams. You want to have a great relationship with your children. You want to detox and get rid of trauma as a child. If you've got fears, if you've got anxieties, if you've got anything, you name it, past lives, I take a look at. We work on that every single month, very close, so that you find that happiness that you want and you let go of everything that's holding you back. Everything. That's what that 10 month, that 12 months is for. Every month I have, so every week, 52 weeks, I have a class and we're going to be looking at everything from retraining your brain, how to have gratitude. So for instance, January will be about having gratitude and February will be about finding optimism. And 1 month will be about the power of the mind, NLP as well, and psychology and how we can rewire and retrain our brain to think differently. We'll have one just on happiness. Okay, that'll probably be the first month, just on happiness. We're going to watch movies and films and discuss what happiness and gratitude can do for you. We're going to have one just on relationships. We're going to have one on career and businesses, 1 month focused on that every single week. What are your relationships? How do you cultivate relationships? The benefit of relationships. Why are relationships so hard? And what's the lessons on that? We're going to have one just on 1 month, just on goals. We'll have 1 week on how to make a happy goal and how to achieve your goals. And then the third week, why it's beneficial to create and set goals, and also why it's beneficial to let go of goals. And then the fourth week of the month of goals is when it's hard to achieve a goal, what do you do? How do you get past that? We're going to look at 1 month is going to just be about career and work. And what does happy work look like? How do you cultivate happiness in the work? What's the benefits of happiness in your career and your work? And then also, we're going to look at desire and we're going to look at the 4 agreements and we're going to have the physical body. Okay. And take a look at, you know, what does it look like to have a happy physical body? And see, every month when I work directly with you, you have your own formula of happiness. You do. You have your own recipe, your own formula, your own chemical makeup of what makes you particularly happy. And that's what, when I do one-on-one sessions with you every single month, that's what I focus on. I focus on your unique path and what's happening around you energetically. And what are the months and the dates where that can support you. Okay. The predictions come in there. Right. And that's what I work on. And that's where I'm giving you $100 off, because that's a $998. That's $998 for an entire year. My sessions are $150 to $200 an hour. So this is 10 sessions. That's less than 10 sessions alone, plus you get all the classes, right? And so what happens is when somebody gets a reading or a session with me, and you know this, when you go see a movie, when you read a book, when you go see an inspirational teacher, a guru, you're so inspired at that moment. Then why the next day or the next week you're uninspired again? You're back at stage one. You're where you were. You digress, into that sadness, that happiness, that stress, your old patterning. That's what happens. You just go back to default, which we all do naturally. What I am going to be doing for the next 12 months with you is not only reset your default, but also keep you on track so that you retrain yourself, body, mind, and soul, to, to only desire and find and manifest happiness, only to do that. And that takes time. It takes time and it takes guidance. It takes support. And then in the private Facebook group, there'll be support around you too, where everybody in the year of happiness is all there to support each other. And I'm there to help answer questions and support you there as well. So you can go on my website, Ask Holly Hall, Hall, askhollyhall.com, and you'll see right away it says boot camp, manifest happiness. So click on there and sign up. Okay, sign up, and we're going to be starting in January. All right. And if you don't start in January, you don't start till February, that's fine, because everything's going to be recorded. The group is still going to be there, and you still have a year, and you still have the 10 sessions from me. So you want to sign up. So the 100 is when you sign up, I want you to use cash, the um, cash sign as well. So CASS, the cash sign 100. Okay, let me double check that. Let me make sure. No, sorry, it's 100 cash. So it's 100 cash, 100 cash, 100 cash. Now I'll get you $100 off. So that's $898, $898 for 10 readings, and then my ongoing support through the Facebook group plus the weekly classes. I mean, that's insane, right? Insane. For an entire year to find happiness for the rest of your life. You can't go wrong there. So let's take a look at Miss Lily and then see if there's any more other questions, and then I'm going to sign off. Okay. So I know Lily is going through, she's in Korea. I've read for her many times, and she's in my TLC group, which is a group that's $60 a month. And that allows you to ask me 3 questions a week in that group. And I support everybody by answering all of their questions that they have. And she is expanding on a school system that she has. And that school system is for children. It's for creative children that learn better in a creative way rather than a traditional way. They're artists, they're musicians, and they're very strong right-brain children. And she's expanding that by educating the parents more on how this is actually a very tried and true ancient program that was developed by a particular woman. I can't remember her name, but in the 1800s. And so between December 16th and December 25th, Lily, you're going to come across a person in power, a person that you really respect and you look up to. It might be a parent. I see it being more of a man. And this is an excellent time for you to ask that person for support and guidance. Okay. Now, there is a feeling of almost good luck here, like you get a lucky break. So I want you to be very open with getting that support from that man in that time. And then your direction in a really big way in the business is going to change in February. You're getting there. Sometimes I have people go, well, you said it was going to happen last month. You said it was going to happen this month. It is. It's steps, right? You do not get to the top of the step without starting at the bottom and working your way up. So you have taken a lot of baby steps, Lily, and I know that they've all been successful. I know that you've lost a few students, but at the same time, you've gained more students that are paying you more money for the program, and they have an understanding of the program. And I highly, highly recommend that you do open houses. And what open houses is that people come to you You offer cookies and tea and wine and whatever, and you have an educational time. It's when you start out by getting up in front of everyone and telling them what your specific um, program is about and how their children need to have this program to be successful in learning English, because that's what it's all about. It's based on learning English. And you got a shy, reserved side of you, but you're also a teacher. So you need to teach instead of feeling small amongst these authority figures, which are parents, are the ones that are going to be um, giving you the cash to educate their children. You have to educate them first. If there's YouTube videos on this woman that has created this program for you. So show them that video on YouTube and educate them about why this is the best program and so unique and different than what anybody else has. And that you only have a limited offer, limited time offer with that only allows a limited amount of students in there and how they want to get on board. You've got to do the sales pitch to them. Why? Not because you're trying to sell them something they don't need. You're selling them something that's going to change their children's lives forever. That's how you focus on it. So hopefully that's helped you out. I've got another client named Lisa, and she has asked me if her husband's going to get that job that he's been looking for, and that they were supposed to have the opportunity in November, and it didn't quite happen yet. And is it going to happen? The company is having delays as far as I can see. And part of it is because either a CEO or somebody in upper management is changing. Something's changing there. And I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you can, I know you're private messaging me, so maybe you can private message me that answer. And so because of those changes, that's causing a delay. Something popped in my head. I don't know if this is a female one, and she's taking maternity leave or some kind of leave, but there's very feminine spirit in this. And with that, once they replace her, and it's going to be internal, they're going to replace her with somebody internally. So that's something to look forward to. And then things will change at the end of January, beginning of February. That's when the job offer will come. And I do see it being very favorable for your husband. It gives him a little bit more responsibility. So there may be a raise or a change in a title. And there is a bit of a raise. So sometimes when I see just a bit of a raise, it's like there's a bonus, right? Or there's a higher percentage if there's a commission type of thing. So thank you. She just confirmed that that it is a woman who is pregnant and is taking maternity leave. So that was pretty accurate, if I say so myself. Oh, she also said that there's another new, oh, I see. There's a new department opening, and that was unexpected because they got a new contract. And so that new department that's opening also needs new upper management. So great. So there's your answers. So everybody, I'm going to sign off now. And again, you can get a hold of me at askhollyhall.com. And I've got all kinds of programs there for you. I'm booked solid for December. I think I have one opening in December, and then I'm booking into January. So book soon. 2019, my prices may go up a little bit. I'm not sure. I got to take a look at everything else. But if you're interested in booking for my 2018 prices, book ASAP. It doesn't matter if you book it for next June. You'll still get this price from 2018 because it's prepaid, right? So may the stars be with you and may all your dreams come true. Namaste.